How y'all doing? Y'all chilling? I've been chilling. That's what I've been doing. Turn this volume down. I'm gonna let y'all say y'all hellos and stuff. I'm gonna give me some water and some coffee, and then. Hola, hola, everybody. It's a lazy day. It's like rainy and cloudy. Hello, everybody. How was y'all afternoon going? I be trying to give y'all time to get all the hellos and good afternoons and all that stuff out the way. Ooh, I've not been in here since this morning when we was on here. I didn't go to bed till 3 o'clock. It was crazy. I don't know what's up with that crap. I be wanting to be asleep, honey, not awake. Hola, everybody. I shampooed my hair yesterday, so I just put some product that didn't know I didn't twist it, but it's dry. It was stiff in place. Where's my glasses? There they go. Hey, y'all. Hey. Hey. Now I can see y'all. Hola, everybody. Hey. I couldn't see nothing at first, y'all. My eyes is tripping, but I'm praying that God gonna do what he gonna do with them. Why is this not right? Ugh. Ain't no telling. And I know I need, hold on, y'all. I think I need this other charger. I think this one is charged. I do not let people in my life. I'm sorry. It's not something I do here. I know it seems like a place where I would, but I won't ever, probably. I think I did it 2 times. Most of them was not on purpose. Let me get this other charger, y'all. All right. Hey. This be giving y'all time to get ready because y'all be taking 5 minutes to act like we at church and say praise the Lord to everybody. Happy birthday, Naisha. Miss Frizzle, get out my this room. Now you coming on when I'm reading my journal entry about joining. About joining what? The school. And is. And we about to talk about a lot of that today, right now. We about to talk about all of the things that God used us to study in class coming to pass. Was anybody in the yeah, y'all are fellowshipping always is. Anybody was in the class this late night, early morning when I was snapping? I did block that. Screen record, whatever. I don't care. I went the hell off last night, this morning. Listen, if you was here, you caught it. I went the hell off last night. I dropped a lot of F-bombs, I believe. Not proud of it, but I did. So if you ain't never saw CERCA all the way upset, if you was here last night, and I was still trying to restrain myself. They, in this crowd, did nothing. The devils that organized the Olympics did everything. And y'all see it's all a buzz. All the stuff that I talked about in class last night, is it not a buzz on Worldwide News right now? You did snipe off. But it was definitely the honest energy that needed to be directed at those who allowed that to be broadcasted. Is it not what everybody talking about? Is it? All the little bitty things that I was in here going off about and what God it was and who they represented, it's all over everywhere right now. Do we know who Dionysus Bacchus is? Or Dionysus? And why do we know who Dionysus or Dionysus Bacchus is? Why did we already know before, if they didn't know, they know now who that is? Why did we know? And isn't it interesting that he was blue? Isn't it? Nobody don't think that's odd? Did we not study about this person? We studied about Dionysus, however you say it. We studied about Bacchus. One of the first shows, I said, if you can stomach it, I need you to go watch The Magicians because it's very important. Y'all remember Bacchus was in that show? He was one of the guys that came and showed up and they had to go, and he was the one that was having a party, and Clinton Coldwater couldn't figure out how to get in. He was the party god, the god of insanity, the god of wine and luxurious parties where you don't remember what happened the next morning. And his parties would go on and on and on and on and on for days and days and days and days. Where have I heard this before? Right before the flood. Right before the flood, they was partying, they was drinking, they was having their festivals. They had a festival and a feast for everything. Anything was a reason to party. Anything was a reason to be lewd, lascivious, and out of your mind. Interesting. What's the definition of lewd? I'm telling you, my face is red. I can only imagine how you popped off last night because I saw it for the first time and I'm hot. Oh, okay. What's the definition of lewd? Can somebody tell me? Please. Crude and offensive in a sexual way. Inclined to or characterized by inciting lust, lechery, and lasciviousness. Interesting. Would you say that's what was portrayed last night? A throuple. I was just looking at some of the photos from me. They had Snoop Dogg with the Baphomet chain on. I saw that too. Who's been here since the beginning? And I don't ask that to, I be wanting to talk to y'all about something. Anybody been here since 22? Anybody been here since early 22? Y'all remember me asking y'all to go back and watch Murder Was the Case? Who remembers me asking y'all to go back and watch Murder Was the Case? Y'all remember that? I said that's when Calvin Broadus died. I said he don't gotta lie to you if he put it right in a video or a movie right in front of your face. Did he not tell you the truth that murder was the case? Did he? Didn't he tell y'all the truth that murder was the case? So why is we surprised to see that on his neck when Calvin Broadus died and Snoop Dogg was born, honey? Murder was the case. He told you exactly what happened. He showed you what animal he transformed into when they hit that nerve in the backside. He showed you where he told you everything. Did he or did he not? Thank you. And on the worldwide stage, he let you know who his God was. So many things that we have studied in these classes, and people kept asking me, what do the giants and the mythological gods and all of the stuff y'all study over there got to do with salvation? A whole lot. Come on. Come on, Sarah. I'm talking. We talked about the Last Supper how many times? And not in the way you hear it traditionally. What is our main thing that that I say about the Last Supper? What do I talk? Who knows me well enough to know what I say? Whenever we gonna talk about the Last Supper, what do I always say? Do y'all remember? It's a certain statement. I said our dad had a what? Y'all remember? double cup. A double cup. I said he had a double. Come on, high five. You be paying attention. He said a double cup. Jesus had a double cup. What you mean? Come on, John. You be paying attention. You be paying attention. Okay, I see you. I see you. A double cup. We constantly talk about the Lord's Supper. We constantly talk about somebody being betrayed at that table, right? We talk about all the things that led up to that. And that table, that scene in biblical history was one of the most important times right before we all received salvation. Salvation from what? Sin. Interesting. Sin that would cause us to have a physical death, the Bible says, and an eternal one. Interesting that they would use all of that. Interesting that they would use the personifications of all of the fallen angels' children. You know what is crazy? You know what I went viral for? Do you? How about you over here? Anybody here know? Anybody know how y'all, whether it was the mermaid video, whether it was the giant video, and those are who? Those were the gods and the giants. But the giants were the demigods. The giants were the children of the fallen angels and the women. Interesting. Who were they praising last night? Those guys. Who were they emulating and being the person? Those guys. Not that people didn't talk about Greek gods before, because of course they did. But the in-depth study into connecting the dots about what they really stand for, who they really are, what went on, we bust that open over here. Really digging through and not just saying, oh, they had them and oh, they had them and oh, they had them. No, this is the direct connection to what we literally just, the orange and green book. I mean, the gold and black book. We was going through Joseph and all of that, and who was a giant and what line they came down, and did we know that Samson came down this line? He would have been one of those conquerors, one of those warriors of that time. We know this. We had just studied about Heracles and Hercules in the morning or afternoon, whatever it was, and then we get off, and that's exactly what's going on. Did y'all know what the show was going to be yesterday? Because I didn't. But we were literally breaking down the Greek gods, the Assyrians, the Babylonians, the blue people, all of it. We were literally breaking all of that down to, like, in detail. None of us knew the show. Y'all was on the Olympics? Because I'm going to tell y'all what that felt like last night to see that. It felt like another as they were yet speaking moment. That's what it felt like. It felt like another as they were yet speaking moment. The Olympics. That's what it felt like. I was so looking forward to watching the opening ceremony. That taught me to be a valuable lesson to guard my gates. Yeah. Moving on. So, There was something else. I just forgot that quickly. I'm going to tell y'all something. God is speaking so loud right now. The pale horse. And I did some digging on him. It says he was the only half mortal god allowed on Mount Olympus because his mother was mortal. He was accompanied by the satyrs and the maidenhads. Did we talk about satyrs yesterday? And then when Snoop came on, what did he have on? Because the Baphomet would be considered a what? A satyr. A satyr. We talked about the archers with their bows riding on the horses. And then a horse rode on water. Now, it didn't have a bow, but it definitely looked like armor. When I seen that, it was confirmation for where we at. Oh, okay. Did that not look like some type of futuristic armor to you? It was so much being thrown at us all at once, that demonic looking guy playing the accordion with the wings.
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
You just hold on.
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
Can y'all hear me back there? How about you back over there in the 7th row with the yellow shirt on? How about you? Can you hear me back there? Loud and clear. You in the red shirt with the blue jeans on and the flip-flops. Can you hear me? Yes. You just sat down in your lawn chair? You. Can you hear me? Did I not just do a skit about a baby mama mad because her angel baby daddy went and had animal kids? Was we not talking about flying people yesterday? Tell me we wasn't talking about flying people yesterday. We talked about aerial maps. Didn't we talk about aerial maps yesterday? talked about how in ancient times how did they get these? It's like Leland put the opening ceremony together. You ain't lying, Auntie. So how is it that our classes from the last 2 days hit everything that was in the opening ceremony of that? You make it make sense. Y'all was here. Both of our classes from the last 2 days had every single thing to do with the opening ceremony of the Olympics. That don't feel like as they were yes speaking moments to y'all? Y'all don't feel that? Then for me to get online today, and y'all might have already saw it, it was a lady talking about her father, grandfather, all of them were from the M orders of the world. And how they don't really worship God, they worship the devil. And all of the abuse that we hear about in Hollywood is happening. But one of the things that she said that caught my mind was a collection of the Eastern Stars, or a division of the Eastern Stars, that's called the Daughters of Job. Now, anybody that ain't never read the Old Testament Supergrapha will probably think, oh, wow, the Daughters of Job. What were the 3 things that Job's daughters received? Thank you. Do you all remember in the Testament of Job what his second set of daughters received? A Samoan coach died at an Olympic village. I believe it. Sashes, bracelets, like. Okay. What was the capability of those things? What were they able to do? Or what were they? They weren't just regular golden sashes or regular golden bracelets. What was the particular thing about them that was unusual? Well, they came from God now. It came from God. The strings they wore that changed them, but what was the special thing about the strings? They could speak in an angelic language, and what else? Almathea's horn is one of Job's daughters. They was magic. They were magic. It's the same bracelets that the girls from Frozen get. From their fathers, that golden bracelet, that golden necklace, and it's supposed to be 3 daughters, Job's 3 daughters. They got the silver bracelets, and they were all magical bracelets, and once they got together, ain't that what happened in Frozen? Or no? I know it happened on Once Upon a Time. Yes. Well, think about this. Why would a Masonic affiliate name their group of women that are Eastern Stars or whatever, the daughters of Job. Why would they want that name? They're magical, one. Two, who is their uncle? Who is Job's daughter's uncle? Nereus. And he was a what? A merman. A god of wisdom. Why you make that face, Auntie? Why you make that face, Auntie? He was a shapeshifter as well. There are so many statements that would mean nothing to us if we did not do all the study we do here. There are certain scenes that we might just think it wasn't right, but I have so many aunts that are Eastern Stars and they are in the church heavy. Oh, Auntie. I'm gonna just leave it. I'm gonna just leave it. I ain't even gonna say nothing. I told y'all my auntie was a witch and she was a faithful Baptist member every Sunday. My great auntie, she went to church every Sunday. Every Sunday and probably every Wednesday too. In real life. Just because you go to church don't mean you ain't a witch. Or a warlock. That's crazy. People, I don't know why people assume that. Especially not when they use scripture as spells. That doesn't make any sense. Anyway, I was reading in The Truth About the Christian Religion, right? My uncle, a minister and a Freemason. How that work? Come on. Cause it's synagogues of Satan, synagogues of Satan, synagogues of Satan. That's what it is. I've been trying to tell y'all go for the music. Don't you understand that there's always drums before the Satanists come out? There's always some kind of humming and harmonious sound before they get ready to do a ritual. Because guess what? Music still moves the heavens. Even the evil heavens that are below God's heaven. Ain't that interesting? Oh, 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 oh. You hear all of that. Boo, 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 boo. Cause sound, vibration brings things in or take them away. Why do y'all be so, I don't know why people be crazy. Now, let's go back to this Noah thing. I want to go back over here because I took my time today. I ain't even made it to 2 or 3. I have not even made it to part 2 or 3 of Noah because when I watch something, when I tell you I might watch the same 5 minutes, about 5, 6, 7 times, depending. It might be more than that because I'm looking at everything in the picture. When I tell y'all, Lord, my brother-in-law is a Mason and a pastor. My husband kept calling him Rev, no good, and I used to get mad. I understand now. Girl, you better listen to your husband. It's on Prime. And it's on Tubi. For those of you that haven't watched it, Auntie said it's on Tubi too. So for those of you that haven't watched The Days of Noah, it's on Tubi. It's mind-blowing. If you take your time, don't just watch it, study. I done went back. I was watching it this morning and it's crazy. They landed on 66 books of the Bible. 6 alone is crazy. Yeah, so it was mind-blowing. Listen, when you see them dinosaurs, Did you see how they slipped it in that the giants was the builders of all of those monolithic structures? Did y'all hear that when they said that? All of the ones that I didn't show y'all over here. See if we can find a picture of what I'm looking for here. Oh, like that. Them big old stones that we still can't move right now. And didn't they say they was amazing builders of these things like this? Isn't that what they said? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Don't this look like the inside of CERN? Right here. That don't look like a portal to you. You see it? Don't that look like a portal to you on the ground? Do it. That don't look like a portal to you. Mr. Spaceman, we got your portal. Interesting. We looked at this picture before. I said, how did they do this right here on the top of a mountain? Please tell me. And it goes all the way down into the mountain. Do you all remember? This is a monolithic structure. I believe it's maybe in Peru, I think. Somewhere over there. When some of these stones weigh tons, for one, and you mean to tell me and you know what about they stones? Just like in Egypt, you can't fit a hair in between theirs either. You see it. Ain't no hair fitting in between there either. I said not that they came in here and said, listen. He kept saying on the surface of the earth. Now, if the dinosaurs got on the boat and everybody got off the boat safely, all the animals, did the dinosaurs get off the boat or not? Even in that documentary, it said he had a heart for the unclean animals. Could that have been a satyr? Could that have been a, what you call it? The horse one? A centaur? Remember when I said it was a centaur sitting outside of Jesus' tomb? A centurion? A centaurian, and I said it makes sense that Jesus would be considered a demigod, that they would use something like Percy Jackson's homeboy, his teacher, that in the spirit you just see a soldier, but in real life he got 2 more legs behind him. Because if an angel, yeah, he only took 2 unclean, so they were. If all that was alive, nephew, before the flood, it say giants. I mean, if the giants was here, and then God say if everything that was before the flood is after the flood, and I told y'all they in the Congo, them dinosaurs, and they are in Brazil and a few other places, The world has not been destroyed since they got off the boat again. You saw the dinosaurs get on, didn't you? You saw the pterodactyls get on, didn't you? The bronchiosauruses, the triceratops, you saw them get on the boat, did you or did you not? If the earth has not been destroyed after that, when people showed us that it was a pterodactyl flying and they said it was CGI, what do you think it was? I asked y'all how was they able to make Jurassic Park so it was too realistic. You saw him get on the boat. The earth, God said he had things hidden in the earth. This is why the giants are coming up to the surface. Why the mermaids are now coming up to the surface. Because part of the raw that is going to be fought, ain't y'all been seeing the big monsters come up all of a sudden now? And they said that's CGI. But all of the deep water, big old squids and stuff is running their tail up on the land. Is they or is they not? Talking about the largest thing in the or the scariest thing, whatever that fish is, whatever. They got a big old bite out of it, and what's bigger than that? And that's the predator of the sea. They're beaching themselves. Interesting. So I was reading in the truth about the Christian religion, and I found something that was very interesting, but the pictures are on, I believe, this iPad and not this one. Oh no, it's here. Well, this is here, but not the. So let me see. This world getting crazier and it's crazy. It's crazy. Can I ask y'all a question? Do y'all think that the stuff that we study, just seeing events, what happened last night, do y'all feel like it's important to study the things that we study? Watching Evil and all of these different shows that where the devil don't have to hide nothing. But this is why the masses are blind, because they don't study symbols, they don't study signs, they don't learn words, they don't learn who, what, when, where, why, and they just be sitting up and it be all kinds of stuff going on in front of their face and they don't have no idea what's going on. This why the devil keeps people. Oh, I can't watch no show like Evil. Ooh, I can't watch The Exorcist. Ooh, no, I can't. I don't want that in my spirit. That's why the devil been able to shake his tail feather right in front of y'all faces on your commercials, on your kids' shows, and everything else, because you don't want to know. Ain't that what the Bible said? Ain't that what the Bible said? He said, my people gonna perish for the lack of knowledge. Now, how is it that I didn't even watch it? I seen that man in the middle of it. I said, that's Bacchus. I said, I bet y'all that be talking about this Bacchus. Did I not say that last night? I said, that's Bacchus. I said, I bet you that's Bacchus. And what they said it was Dionysus Bacchus. Or Dionysus Bacchus. Is that not who he was? in real life. I said, I bet you they be trying to say that's Bacchus and they Dionysus or Dionysus. I said, oh, okay. Well, we called that last night, didn't we? We did. Interesting. They played in about 70 billion gazillion people face last night. And it ain't about what community you support. This don't even have nothing to do with the LGBTQ. It don't have nothing to do with drag queens. It don't have nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with the rulers of this world. Who remembers me telling you that the clothing lines, the cars, the fashionable and expensive, and the things that everybody cannot attend are all attributed to them? Didn't I tell you that? Did we or did we not talk about it? You know what it does? It conjures them. So we saw a man in a blue outfit, but he could have did an incantation to call Bacchus right on down into him, baby. You said what? You said that's what they did. Anytime that you are the personification of something, you are conjuring that to you. And what better place to do it but in one of the places where the Greek gods went to party? They had groves in France. All of their rituals are still are never mind. You hear me? It's a real thing. That the principalities and the rulers of this world. It's very important that we went and read the Testament of Solomon, because it talks about Asmodeus or Asmodai, how his mama was this and his daddy was that, and how Artemis, the ropes of Artemis, are the ones that bound Solomon's soul. Interesting. It was so much in that first 10 minutes, or however long it took. If you dissect it piece by piece and you get the books and you go through your notes, I guarantee you that a lot of the stuff, if you took notes that we studied here, baby, you gonna see it. All of the symbols, all of everything was there. The portals, everything. Now, the fact that they had Snoop carrying the torch with a Baphomet on his chain. What do we talk about God is getting ready to do in the last 2 years? 2 days. What do we talk about? We talked about fire. We talked about people talking about it's hot. I'm hot. It's on fire. I said, yep, the world about to be on fire. Did we not talk about that? We talked about it. We talked about stars being balls of gas. Didn't we? We talked about stars being balls of gas. And then a star, who the fallen angels are, who the Baphomet is carrying something. I said they on fire. The stars is on fire. And there was a star with a Baphomet carrying the what? Ain't that been in our last 2 days that we talked about that? Did y'all know Soup was gonna light the thing? Because I didn't. But he's a star. And he had one of the stars that fell. You don't really understand what that whole Baphomet signifies, do you? One, bestiality. Two, that's a slap in the face to God because his angels impregnated animals, gave them magic, and tried to have them rule over humans. Humans were thrown into the things for the first Olympiads. For those beasts, the minotaurs and the centaurs and all of these different beasts that they made were thrown in there to either be y'all ain't never seen the minotaur. What do you think the bullfighting comes from? Ain't they normally in the ring? And here's this person that is being charged by something that could trample them and kill them? Isn't that what the Minotaur used to do? They would bring out a Minotaur to chase the person through the labyrinth. No? The Olympics is an ode to the gods of this world. The Olympics is a worship ceremony for the gods of this world. And if you understand who the gods of this world is, you will understand why every single thing that is going on. They were the conquerors. They were the basketball players. This is their moment. Genesis tells you that they were renowned worldwide for their conquest and their feats. Are those people that are competing and the gods are there with them. They showed up. They showed up. In the personification of the people that were up. You know what? I hope y'all seeing it. They were the gods before the flood, and they the gods after the flood still. Possession is real. They were there in the flesh. It's nothing for them to inhabit all of those bodies. You think that man just got a spot like that for nothing? With Snoop wearing the damn Baphomet on his chain. You think that there were no rituals prior to this? You don't think it was one ritual? You don't think there wasn't no OGs going on? which is how the gods got ready to celebrate whatever they start and end with the same thing, baby. Drunkenness and OGs. And they look over the competitors and walk around them, and ain't nothing changed. The gods have chosen you to compete for them. You will compete for Athena. You will compete for Bacchus. You will oh, okay. Oh, okay. We seeing it right now. Oh, okay. Okay. Percy Jackson, ring a bell for anybody? The gods were in the midst. God said you never know when you entertaining an angel. He never said good or bad. He also talks about the principalities of darkness and how their numbers are a lot. Percy Jackson literally told us, no, there's demigods walking around you. Oh, okay, so the angels' kids. Oh, okay. 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 So if they were making children back then, if it was just like in the days of Noah, that means something's... You mean genetic manipulation? Interesting. How much is spent on genetics research? I'm going to run to the restroom. Let's find out in the last 20 years, how much was spent on genetics research? Please. I'll be right back. Genetic research. How many trillions of dollars? Y'all find it? It's a little chilly in here. But I'm not turning the air down because what we got? Over 500 million a year. 3.8 billion since 2019. Oh, in 2019. Interesting. 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 No. Anybody toes wiggling a little bit? 30 billion a year. It's a whole bunch of numbers. I guess it depends on what you're looking for. I was reading the truth about the Christian religion, and there's a lot of things I want to share with y'all, but I think they on my other iPad, and I didn't send them. So I'm gonna see if I can find it. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm looking for, because I have these already screenshotted. And now I can't find it. Gosh dog it. I wanted to show y'all something. I think I'm close. Hold on. I'm close. Okay. All right. I need y'all get your screenshot fingers ready, please. Y'all ready? Got your screenshot fingers ready? Huh? We're going to go back through here, but I just want y'all to have this. So give me a second. Here we go. I'm gonna have to just get it. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna just have to get him off here. I'm gonna pause this real quick. Hold on. Because I need them off my pictures, and I don't know how to. There we go. Select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need all of these because I already had them saved. What the heck? Why is it not picking it up? Oh. Okay. Sorry, y'all. All right. Okay, so you can download this book, okay, on Google Books. It's from like the 17 or 1800s, 1600s. I don't know. It's old. Okay, it's called The Truth About the Christian Religion. So, the stuff that I had looked at was very interesting, and I need to see which page I need to start at. Let me see. I think it's this one. Yes. Is this the first one? Yes, it is. Okay. I need y'all to screenshot this. Y'all got it? Okay. So this is The Truth About the Christian World. It's a very interesting book. It's old. I read it a couple, not all of it, but I skimmed through a lot of it and was studying a lot of it earlier. I told y'all about this a couple years ago when we first started. But this book goes through, and it, you know how y'all was asking me about the names and why they changed them, and you know who used to be who. This is one of my books that I used to find out a lot of the information during the time that I had just started reading like the lost books and stuff like that. I was in this book deep because this is how I found out that Canaan and Chus and all of these different, like, who we call this person, they had so like 2 or 3 names, and they be talk like, okay, prime example, like somebody might have said Dionysus yesterday and somebody might have said Bacchus, but they don't know they're the same God, right? Right? So they don't even know that they're the same God. They're you know, oh no, blah blah blah. They blah blah blah. But if you don't know, so this book is gonna change your whole life. Like, I just want to skim through because I don't want to read all of it, but I'm just going to go through here. So it says, we read in the poets wrapped up in fables of liberty they allow themselves, are delivered by the ancient writers according to the truth and reality that is agreeable to Moses. As you may see in Barossa's History of Chaldea, Abdinus, I think that is his name, Abdinus of Assyria, who mentions the dove that was sent third from the first Olympiad to our time, which is called the historical, because these things done in our, I'm sorry, because the things done in it are relatable in a true history, right? So it talks about, Barrow calls it the unknown, the Hebrew rabbis call it the void, blah, 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 right? So then it says, concerning whom Josephus says thus, in his first book against Apion, or Apion, Apion or Apion, this Barossus, following the most ancient writings, relates in the same manner. I'm sorry, y'all. These words is little. Let me make them a little bit bigger. Okay, here we go. In the same manner as Moses, the history of the flood, the destruction of mankind, the ark or chest in which Noah, the father of mankind, was preserved, by its resting on the top of the mountains of Armenia. After having related the history of the deluge, Barossus adds these words, which we find in the same Josephus book, and it tells you which book. It is reported that part of the ship now remains in Armenia on the Gordrian mountains, and that some pitch from thence, which they use for charms. So you mean to tell me that the Catholic Church and the Smithsonian didn't know that Noah's Ark? Remember I told you, I said, I remember they told us 30 years ago that they found Noah's Ark. So the tar that was used to keep the ship together, they use it as a magic charm. The people in Armenia know that tar, right, has magical powers, and the wood has magical powers. So do y'all think they really just found out where Noah and them was at? This book was written in like 16, 17, 1800s, somewhere around there. Remember when I told you I said they didn't know where it was? That's how they could build it to the direct, they've seen it. Because in the 16, 17, 1800s, they already knew it was in the mountains of Armenia. Right? This book is mind-blowing, I'm telling you. It's long, but it's mind-blowing. It's a lot of facts and names and understanding and going back like Eusebius and the Ante-Nicene Fathers and all these different books that I was looking for and that I be telling y'all. They had a lot of them mentioned in here, and they was talking about them in the 16, 17, 1800s. Okay, so then I need them books. Them is the ones I need. And whether I got them in a physical book or if I got them online, I went back and was reading the books from the 1500s, 1600s, 1700s, because these are the books that are mentioned in the 1800s as to where they got their information from. Isn't that interesting? So I need the information that the old white men that used to wear the ascots and you couldn't get in there to cigarette bars. They used to sit up and talk about their exploits, about how they went around the world and found all these old manuscripts and stuff. See, I want to read the stuff that they're reading. And you know where that stuff is? It's in Harvard and Yale and Princeton and all of the places where they put ascots on and jackets and go drink cognac and cigars. Those books are in those libraries, in the British colleges and things, Cambridge. And so you know what I did? The Ivy Leagues, Oxford, exactly. And a lot of my PDF books that I have from 10 years ago, A lot of them say Oxford, Cambridge on the inside of the PDF because the white rich kids be cheating and they be having their friends read the book and y'all know what happened. Anyway, so I go get their stuff because once they put it on the internet, it's on the internet and I'm going to need access to it, honey. Thank you. Thank you. So even if I don't have it in a physical book, that doesn't mean that I haven't seen it, and that doesn't mean that I haven't laid my eyes on it and went through it a little bit. I might not have read every page by page, but baby, it's some stuff. And this truth about the Christian religion, it will blow your mind. Do you hear me? That stack of papers that I always pull out and be reading off of, this is the book. And I'm saying, because this is going to upgrade your like see right here. When I was doing this is the book. Remember I told you I printed it out because I couldn't believe it. See, now the valley of Sodom was full of tar pits. Oh, interesting. And when the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fled, some of the men fell into them. So do you see this? Sodom apples. Now look, I was just getting ready to show y'all this in here, right? Talking about Singapore, the Southern Jordan River, 9 miles. Y'all, this is years ago that I studied this too. I want y'all to know that. The land of Shinar. Y'all see it? Yeah. It's always on YouTube, y'all. When I say this book is mind-blowing, it's a lot of reading. If you're going to need to highlight it, I would say, I don't know if you can buy it or not online. I don't know. I printed mine out because at that time I didn't have money for books. Oh, yeah, I know. Oh, I know. I don't watch plenty of documentaries about that, honey. All of the sulfur balls that are in this, yeah, believe me. I went looking. Yep. It's about $16. You definitely should get it. It's going to be an amazing study tool for you, I promise. You will not regret downloading it because you can get it for free on Google Books. You can read it for free. But if you want to buy it, it's going to be a great study piece. Now, I did not read every page in there, but I read a ton of them and I studied. I don't know, y'all. Listen, y'all Google work. It does. It works. Do your research. I just told you the name of it. And that's all I'm going to say. And I done said it a few times. I even just showed you the picture. You got to go look at it. Listen, I'm going to tell y'all something. I don't repeat myself. So you're going to want to listen. And if you got a screenshot, there's enough information on that page for you to go find it. But if you don't hear it, I'm not going to keep repeating it. What I'm going to tell you to do is go watch the rewatch. Because I done said it like 15 times already. I won't be repeating myself. Ain't no kids in here. Everybody is an adult. And if you don't use your ears, that don't have nothing to do with me. I'm not going to keep repeating it. I already said it like 15 times. Love y'all. If you new, please understand. I don't repeat myself. I'm not going to keep picking no books up or nothing. I ain't. I'm going to say it about a good 5 times. After that, you hear me? I'm not doing it. Because people going to continually come in. Just watch the rewatch. Anyway, so in that book, it talks about the flood. It talks about how all of the names got changed. It's like Josephus, but a more updated version in a sense, because the names had changed since Josephus wrote what he wrote. And then people that studied all of that, they went and they, looked at his stuff or whatever. So this is how I even started on a migration or understanding that the Maccabees and the Maccabees was the same person or the same people. The word play that they play in here, a lot of it is in this book, and you can go in there and you can see what I be telling you about how the Scythians were these people, but they were known as this first, and it might be a name that we know in the Bible. You hear me? You hear me? But if you really want to do an in-depth study on like the Medes, they used to be called the Medians. Medea. And we know that there's a place called Media. And there was a lot of magical things. It was like a commerce place. It had banks and all of these different things. You hear me? So you can learn a lot in this book. Oh, it's so much information in here, I promise you. It is so much information. Now, you're going to need your KJV or whatever Bible that goes through and it breaks down the genealogy of Adam. But that's a lot of what's in here too. Y'all hear me? A guy three videos ago teaching about the Maccabees. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a lot of good stuff out here. Along with that, remember me asking y'all to get Hesiod's Theogony. You hear me? If you downloaded it, if you downloaded it, you won't pull that out. It has everything to do with what's getting ready to go on in the next however many days the Olympics is. The commercials that are going to be on TV, the symbols that you will see on jackets and braids and this and shoes, you'll need to get out. I got a couple different copies of it and it's mixed up. But you'll need to get out your Hesiod's Theogony as well. I think the one we got is 30 pages in it. That's not it. Or something like that. You said that's crazy. That's what pops up. Pops had us studying. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hesiod's Theogony. I told y'all all of the stuff we studied was going to be relevant here in a minute. Did we not talk about that, family? We got to go through this. Ooh, God, just let me find the ones I need to find. Thank you, Dad. Oh, my goodness. He is so good to me. I've been looking. Okay, well, let's do it. Hold on, family. Interesting. Okay. When I say that, be answering, because I was like, I want to give y'all certain page numbers, but I already had a lot of this stuff highlighted on other documents, and I found them. Oh, goodness gracious. Thanks, Dad. I don't even got to do the work. Give me a second. I'm just sorting them where they need to be. When I tell you he be, yep. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Give me 1 second. When I tell you that my dad is great. Okay. So, who is the Callion? Ooh. 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 Who is the Callion? Thank you. Y'all, these knees is not Megan's anymore. They're more like Martha's. These is not Meg knees. Now, before I got over here, I had Meg's. They're more like Martha's now. It's a wrap. Or Mabel's. One of the two. I don't know. But it's definitely not Meg, honey. That went out the window. I got Martha legs now, baby. Martha or Mabel or somebody. But it's not Meg. I don't know what happened to them, but in this very short time, they have changed and morphed into something. I need to start wearing my braces, probably because it's raining outside too. All right. Mabel, honey, listen, they done morphed in. Look at it. No, I wish he was that girl. No, that ain't it. Girl. No, it ain't. It ain't. I wish, but it ain't. I can't even say that. So look here. This right here, nigga. Tenerius and fair-headed Doris. Right. You see all of them? This all the gods. Interesting. Y'all see it? I wish, girl. You see that? You see, as many drops of blood spurted forth, all of them Gaia received. In the revolving years, she bore the powerful Arians, or Arius, I don't know. Arenice, somebody. I can't even see. I'm trying to read backwards. And great giants, gleaming in their armor, holding long spears in their hands. And the nymphs, whom they call the ash tree nymphs, across endless Gaia. As soon as Kronos lopped off the genitals with the sickle, they fell from the mainland into the much surging sea. You see it? I'm trying to read backwards too, so you talk about the muses. Ooh, all of those people that are going to be running free over there. Yeah. Sometimes I can't read with these glasses on if it's too close, and it be blurring everything. There we go. Now I can see. It says, from within, a majestic and beautiful goddess stepped, and all around grass grew beneath her slender feet. Aphrodite, foam-born goddess, and Fair Wreath Catharia. Gods and men call her because she was nurtured in foam. You know what's really, and I know that that's probably not a thing, but aren't snake eggs, some snake eggs, like a foamy like substance? Or no? Like boas. Aren't their eggs like foam? Right? Ain't they like a foamy like texture, right? Big snakes is like, would they be the big ones where the pack be together? It be looking like it's like the stuff we buy for our kids. Or no? I ain't never touched one, but that's, I mean, I'm assuming that's, anybody know about the big snake eggs that's soft, not the hard ones? For like a python, aren't their eggs really soft too? You said they're soft, but you don't know about foamy. They be they look like marshmallows stacked on top of each other. They're sticky. Hmm. Okay, interesting. Okay, I thought about the water too. I thought about the water too because the ocean is foamy. Don't the ocean be having a lot of foam on it? Or no? The marine spirits, right? In certain areas, yeah. So I'm not gonna do it with y'all, but there are some pages if you downloaded the Christian religion that I want you to go through and bookmark. Now it might be, it's kind of looking like a different version, cause mine, the one that is here, is still in the King's Old English where the F's are S's and all of that. It's real weird, so you gotta like really take your time and look in here. But when I tell, like, that's how I found out the troglodytes were from Ethiopia. It's so much good information in here. It's talking about Strabo. The Idumeans are from Esau, um, or Edom. Like, it's so much good information in these pages. It talks about how Africa got its name, um, and it talks about Hercules in here too, and Keturah. What else is in here? Talks about the nymphs' den. Interesting. What else? Talks about the Syrian gods, the offspring of eggs, which gods he means the stars. For it follows in the Phoenician theology, the mud was illuminated with light, whence the sun and moon, and great and little stars. You see here, as in Moses, the light was before the sun, and the word that Moses used immediately after, I mean, and this is, it gets hard to read because these letters are really, really small, and it's using the old King's English. But it talks about Apion in here, all of the things, same things. Talks about Jupiter, and this is the truth about the Christian religion. It talks about the creatures. It's all kinds of good information on these pages. And that's why I want y'all to go get both of these. Y'all, why does it say the Sinar Dam is in Sudan? right? Sennar, Sennar. Remember I told y'all when I was looking up the, like, doing the research on the Tower of Babel? It says Samar is a town in Sudan by the Blue Nile. So Shinar used to be spelled Sennar, and it's actually in Sudan. Like Sennacherib. You hear me? Remember we looked up and I was like, I wonder if that means son of a cherub. Senna for Sennar, it was in Sudan, and if you look up the Blue Nile, so the Tower of Babel was close to where Sudan is. You mean the people where... That's not the book. That is not the book. Where is it? I put it here. Chani was a character in the Hunger Games too. He was a stylist. Oh, Senna. Really? Between Sudan and Ethiopia. So when we see Sennacherib, I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but Sennacherib from the Bible, what did he do? What was he? Tell me what was so significant about him in the KJV? We didn't read about him. What did he do? What was his deal? What was his story? I believe it's Sennacherib or something. Senna made all the flaming dresses for Mockingjay. We talked about this the other day. And we talked about a third of heaven falling. And we talked about how the angels' clothes was fire. Who was here for that? And the Mockingjay was a symbol for the district's rebellion in the story. Interesting. Can I ask you a question to those of you that watched Noah, the first show? When the angel came to talk to him, what did he look like? Did it look like her dress at all? Mm-hmm. Right, the documentary. The angel that came to visit Noah when he was standing there in the grove Did not the way that angel look like her dress when she was spin? Or no? Am I wrong? What's crazy is how they just keep on playing in our face with all kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna be tuned in. Haven't got that far yet. Oh yeah, you gotta pay attention. Mm-hmm. I don't never want y'all to just watch nothing. Y'all know that, right? I don't ever want y'all to just watch nothing. You hear me? I don't. I don't ever want y'all to just watch nothing. I want you to pay attention as much as you can. That's why we go detail by detail in everything and try to not try to. God allows us to tie that stuff back. Everything. Can y'all tell me what Sennacherib does or what he was known for in the Bible? They might have changed it to one N and not two. What's he known for in the Bible? Did he have a status? Like, what did he do? Excuse me. Hmm. He was a king? Invaded Judah. Thank you. Excuse me. And Judah is named after who? The city of Judah is named after who? Jacob's son. And Jacob's sons were who? The 12 tribes, but also what else were they? Giants. Remember I told y'all the book of Kings is real important? Who were most of the kings back then? And the conquerors and the rulers. We talk about this every day. You said yes, giants getting into the book of Kings. Okay. Y'all saw it in the Noah thing. He said it was plenty of giants on the land, and they was the one that built all the stuff we see that's still here. Because they daddies was angels, and they daddies was around when God was building the cosmos. That's why their sons are master builders. Because their daddies was around when God was creating everything that we see. So they watched God build the cosmos and every other reality that we don't get to see. Literally. You hear me? So it makes sense that some of the things, they're on the grids, they're on all of at these certain specific places that radiate more energy than others. Now, who remembers when I first came over here to TikTok and I told y'all to go study about Chernobyl, and then there ended up being trouble over there, but I told y'all that Chernobyl means black god or was black. Most of the places where they have built these power plants at, if you go back and you study, it was a heavily populated area of giants in that area a long time ago. You know, the Bible tell the prophets or the people, take the prophet's bones with you, because even the prophet's bones is blessed. You know, they said take them with you. Where whoever had the prophet's bones, this is why the Catholic Church got out in bones. And they got the bones of St. Peter and the bones of this person and the bones of that person. That's why they got them bones. Because whoever has them, evil or not, whoever has them, their life will be blessed. Okay? This is why a lot of people use bones for magic. Animal bones, human bones, skulls, fingers, toes, the like. The crazy thing is this. A lot of the things that are happening now in the Middle East is the spirits of the fallen angels and their children still roaming the earth and being able to inhabit the leaders, the kings, and the elite. Because they are all fascinated with the occult. Are they or are they not? We know for a fact that they are inhabited by old spirits. We know this too. When we first started this, we started at the base. And in all honesty, we're kind of still at the base. But it is mind-blowing to me that the world is waking up to what's really in front of their faces and looking deeper into everything, because everything has a meaning. Everything has a purpose. Every sign, every symbol, it all means something. Yeah, that's why they are the archaeologists. Yeah, they really witches and warlocks too. Because how did that stuff end up on the black market? They witches and warlocks too. Paleontologists, a lot of them. Y'all also see that they said in that show what we said. I told y'all the evolution. Remember I told y'all? I said it was H.P. Blavatsky and a couple other people with Darwin. Remember we talked about all of this. Remember I told y'all to go look up Helen P. Blavatsky. Who remembers me telling y'all to go research her? Anybody remember me talking to y'all early on about H.P. Blavatsky? And what their plan was for school, and to take their the ability of parents to discipline their children away, all the while fueling these other things, and the occult, like infiltrating school, church, state, blase skip, wooty wop wop. Remember we talked about that? All of that ties into so much that is going on right now. It's unreal. Taking the control of the parents from the children, only certain things being taught, which is evolution. Yeah, Jacob and his sons were giants, and the Bible says so. it says they were from the Amorites and the Canaanite people, and the Bible says when they went into Canaan, where the Canaanites were, the despised looked like grasshoppers, and the other people saw them as such. That's what it said. And the Amorites were also giants. So if Israel came out of an Amorite and a Canaanite, what would that make them? They could run, outrun a gazelle, and while running, take it, pick it up, and rip it apart. They could take a bear by the paw and dash it against the rock and obliterate it. That's what they could do. Open the mouth of a lion and grab a cub out. How much pressure does a lion's mouth have? PSI or whatever you call that? H.P. Blavatsky. Helen P. Blavatsky. You can say it in your thing. Helen P. Blavatsky. If you say that, she'll come right up. Look it up. H.P. Blavatsky or Helen P. Blavatsky. Blavatsky. B-L-A-T, I believe. I don't know how to spell it out. B-I-S-K-E-Y or something like that. K-Y. You'll find it. You're going to see how they plan to infiltrate schools. Yep, that's what we talked about. That's when we talked about he came to set the captives free. You remember? And she ran with Aleister Crowley. It's not a lot of people. They all had a lot of the same beliefs. Yes. Come on then, students. And that was the class. Sure was. Look at my babies. Yep. Oh yeah, I know when we did that. We did. Yeah. You found it? Okay. It's another book that's going to help you understand what's going on right now. Y'all be making my heart smile. Because we had a lot of classes. I be hoping y'all retain the knowledge. I know it'd be a lot, and sometimes I forget too, because it's so, now you see why I said I cannot, there's no way I can memorize the Bible. You know how many details that God gives me just about one small subject, one person? There's no way that I could do that. Have we not read the scripture here where it says your mother was a Canaanite and your father was a Amorite, or vice versa, when his name was changed to Israel around that area, and you were the least of the clan? Did we not read that here several times in class? Is it not in the King James Version Bible? Is where we read it. There were several races that came out of certain areas, but you gotta understand. See, you looking at, you gotta go deeper than just what's right there on the paper, right? And I've read their testaments, and so they say it themselves. Their last will and testaments, as a matter of fact, what they talked to their sons about in the 123rd year of their life, and they had to set them up, and they kissed all of their kids and grandkids, and they tell the story that they fought against King Hazor and a couple of other people, and we Bill Saft, and we found out one of those guys was 22 feet tall. But these brothers could pick up a wild ox, fully grown, by the horns, and swing them around in a circle, what we see in the cartoons all the time, and dashed against the rock, and it died. Now, you want to go read it for yourself. You can do that. Okay, Astro. Well, Judah was a giant, and Samson's mama came out of Judah, and in Samson. I don't know if you've ever went and looked at the columns over there, honey. You got to do more of your research. You only read the 66 books of the Bible? Is that it? Or I can tell you can't be and went outside of there, because in the seventh generation from Adam, they went into the Cain's line and Seth's line. So then that was the fallen angels. It's in Genesis 6. You'll want to read it. Okay, so then why is you sitting here arguing with me? If you read the Apocrypha, you know. So then, do you just want some attention or what? Because it tells you there. You trying to argue about something we both know to be true? For what? You might have read it, but did you study it? Difference. Again. Okay. Go away. Do you understand what I'm getting ready to say to you now? Go away. I don't argue. I don't have no reason to. When I know the truth and the Lord led me to it. I'm sorry he hasn't showed it to you yet, but I'm going to pray he open up your understanding. Now, can you go away? We can agree to disagree. I don't got time to be arguing. You interrupted my class. Anybody else want to get on my nerves very quickly? See, these folks come in here and they say certain stuff, not thinking that y'all haven't went and looked for yourselves. You hear me? They think I'm just up here telling y'all something. They don't know y'all done did the work and the research. So they be thinking they doing something, and I know y'all be rolling y'all eyes because y'all got the notes several thousand hours worth. Okay? Do you hear me? Do you understand? Listen, I got 1,000 classes on YouTube that you can go watch. Go back to the beginning of February of 22 or around May of 22. Listen, you're interrupting my class. If you want to learn what I'm telling you, I have over 1,000 classes on YouTube under the live. You can go there and ask all of these questions because they've already been answered over there 2 years ago. That's the best thing I got for you. It's already there. Proven. Recorded. All the receipts. Okay. Okay. So then go on and do what you're going to do. They don't never want, because you over here asking questions where, and I done told you where the answers are, then you're going to say, oh, I'll keep on learning. Well, quit asking me. Because guess what? I got to the information. Didn't no pastor teach me this fucking. God took me to everything I got. So I'm trying to give you the info. You don't want to get on out of here? Interrupt them. I told y'all they don't. Folks just be wanting to talk. That's it. They don't know. This person don't know that I teach pastors, bishops, all kind of. We got all them people over here. Please don't add them. We don't add people here either. If you knew, don't do that again. I block people that add other people. He not talking to you. He talking to me. Thanks. Some of their favorite people they follow, I teach. Ooh. Been a part of WOIU, babe, but I'm going to let you have it. I'm going to go on and let you have that one. That person evidently don't know what I went viral for. They can't. Because the fact that you would even come in here and question, when that's the whole reason I went viral, you is crazy. You ain't did no research, have you? Not even down to the end of my page. Crazy. Why do I still got to argue with folks? You didn't even do your research to know what I went viral for before you come over here arguing me about what I don't know. As to why 99% of the people on TikTok is teaching about the Giants, the Lost Books, the Book of Jasher, and all of that, babe. You didn't even do your research. Come on now, do a little bit before you come over here talking crazy. You gotta know, you got to say no to ignorance. You got to. And they always say no to the information. I told y'all about the religious people. Y'all better watch it. And I know y'all watched that documentary and how they talked about the church and how they was messing up stuff and restricting what people could learn. Ain't nothing changed, Hosea 4 and 6. I just be trying to figure out why I be having to argue with folks. I just be trying to figure out. Like, do your research on a person before you just come talking crazy. And you could literally do a skim through a lot of the videos and see where I've already posted the scriptures. I've already showed facts. I did that already. I'm not doing that no more. I'm not doing any of that anymore. Do you hear me? If you don't believe it, I don't give a damn. That don't have nothing to do with the truth. Do you hear me? I don't care that you don't believe it. People call me crazy when I said dragons was still alive, dinosaurs was still alive, and now all of that stuff is being proven. So I just be trying to figure out why I'm supposed to worry about folks that want to stay closed-minded. This is not a place of exclusion. It's a place of inclusion. And we have gotten to the information that we got to because God said that the two multiplied and became nations. The two. It also says that all flesh had corrupted itself. Did it or did it not? This is why he destroyed all flesh, animal, whatever that was upon the earth. Is that not why he destroyed it? It said all flesh had corrupted itself. What clean line? Even the archaeologists right now say that Noah and his wife were 15 to 17 feet or 17 and 19 feet. They thumb bone was longer than my hand. What do you mean? This is right now you can look at this. So if Noah was 17 feet tall, you tell me what bloodline didn't get attacked or God didn't use what the angels thought that they was going to use for bad for his good. Noah was born with cyclops eyes. How many people that you know with the Holy Ghost could do that? Show me one, baby. And I done been around the top of the top of bishops and all of that. I ain't seen one so full of the fire of the Holy Ghost, baby, that light shot out their eyes. But that was a reality for Noah or Decalion. As some people called them. Ain't that the ability that Superman had? That's why his father was scared. Come on, Ray. Come on, Ray. Tell him. I don't even got to teach you. My class will tell you. I can sit back. They gonna run it down to you. I ain't got to say nothing. They done did their own research. They read it with their own eyes and wrote it down with their own pen. I don't gotta do nothing. I'm over it. If you don't want to learn, this is not gonna be a place. If you just want to argue the word, you're gonna hate it here because we don't argue with you. He told Methuselah, that is not my son. And we'll piece by piece. You said it, Sarah. Listen, we want to know. We do not want to be in the dark about nothing. God said there are mysteries in my word, and if you don't want to go looking for them, then go over there with the surface folks. Because it is not one thing that we have not studied here in the 2.5 years, almost 3 since we've been here, that has not been relevant to something that is still going on in 2022, 2023, or 2024. Thank you. Every single thing we studied, I don't care if it's what's in the water. It don't matter. Everything we studied has been relevant to our life since we started. Everything. And it's been proven time and time and time and time and time and time and time again that God took us to this information. I'm not here to argue with nobody. I'm not here. I don't have to. See, this is the thing. If man gave me, and I said this before, if man gave me the information that I have as far as leading me to it and telling me exactly what to study, it would be different. People could move me or shake me. But man, nobody even wanted to believe what I was telling them when I was reading this. None of the bishops wanted to hear it. None of my minister friends, none of the apostles, none of them wanted to hear it. But now they are all reading it. We put the appetizers on your plate with the real facts. We walk you over to where the rest of the food is and let you choose to eat if you want to. But our plate full. Come on, Mark. Perfect example. We got the hors d'oeuvres out there. You can go find it if you want. Come on, nephew. That was good. You know we like food too. Perfect. And dude, I'm not about to argue with you, baby. I got 2 plates. And somebody carrying my drink. Quit playing. Our life is full, our spirit is full, and we get blown away every day by the connections that God allows us to make. We don't care if you believe it or not. Just go over there. Please. And don't come back. We ain't even mad that you don't want to be over here. Yeah. Y'all. Now, when I'm writing my notes, I don't have to spell right. I don't have to do any of that. No. I just put another one in. Here we go. Y'all see this? Now, so Ophir, O-P-H-E-R, and Afer, A-F-E-R, same people. O-P-H-E-R and A-F-E-R, same people. So if you see Ophir or Afer, it's the same thing that we saw about Hercules, not Hercules, but Heracles marrying Abraham's granddaughter. We all have different names, babe. We all got different names, right? So y'all see that? But look. So another name, look at this. I believe it's Akkedisse or Akkedisse, Akkedisse, is lizard in Dutch. You know where some of the lizard people lived? You know who the sons of Akkad were? When I tell you I was all over the place. Academia is from the Akkadians, which is the root word for academy. Akkedisse is also Africans in Dutch. Akkedis is how Dutch people say African. Afrikaan. Akkedis in Dutch is their word for the African, or used to be. And a Akkedisse is a lizard. And we know it was green people in Africa. Was it, or was it green people in Africa? Why would the Dutch word for Africans or people that lived in Africa and the same word for lizard be the same? What did Enoch say? Somebody tell me exactly what Enoch, what is that? The end of 7 or 8, Enoch on the 15th or 16th, it's the page 16. Can y'all put it up there for me? In your book 1 on page, it's page 16. Right at the bottom of where it says, what's it say? It says they went into the what? Into the what? Into the what? Into the what? The fallen angels did. And then those people became the kings and rulers. Yes, the Incredible Hulk from Africa. Oh, okay. Oh, we got green people right now with super abilities. You sure said it. Birds, reptiles, and cattle. "200 species of the fowls of the air, the animals of the field, reptiles, and water animals." You said my 2-year-old still has green spots on her skin. Interesting. Mongolian spots. Mm-hmm. This is when I learned out that Sephora or Sapphira is in Heliopolis. else that I learned right here. It says Sidon, everyone knows that Gaza is without something in Gaza of Palestine. So Gaza, or what we call Gaza now, right, is where the city of the Avim and the Anakim used to live. Who were the Anakim and who were the Avim? Please Google, or matter of fact, I'm going to just go and give it to you. Deuteronomy 2 and 23. Let's go to Deuteronomy 2 and 23 real quick. Y'all ready? Y'all hear my back cracking? Y'all hear my back popping? What the heck? That's crazy. All right. Let's start right here. Let's go to 8. So it says, the 8th verse. It says, so when we went on our past, so we went on past our relatives, the descendants of Esau, who live in Seir. We turned from the Araba Road, which comes up from Elath in Ezion Geber. And traveled along the desert road of Moab. The Moabites were giants. And if I'm not mistaken, Geber, however you say their name, Geber or Geber, whatever, but there was another name for them. I know that. Okay, so it says, then the Lord said to me, do not harass the Moabites or provoke them to war, the giants, for I will not give you any part of their land. I have given Ar to the descendants of Lot as a possession. The Emites used to live there, and people strong and numerous. Oh, the Emites used to live there, a people strong and numerous, and as tall as the Anakites. Like the Anakites, they too were considered Rephites. But the Moabites called them Emites. Who are the Anakites? Who are the Moabites? Who are the Rephites? Giants. All of these people right here. Okay, here we go. It's right in the Bible. The Horites used to live in Seir, but their descendants of Esau drove them out. Remember when I told y'all, studying about the migration of the giants and when they was fighting, where they would have to be driven out to? How they got up to the cold lands? Y'all remember me talking to y'all about that? Huh? How they would be fighting. This is your Game of Thrones, y'all. Game of Thrones. The 100,000 giant war from Og. Oh, okay. Here we go. This is where all of this, where the fighting leading up to that. Oh, okay. Here we go. It says, the Horites used to live in Seir, but the descendants of Esau drove them out. They destroyed the Horites from before them and settled in their place, just as Israel did in the land the Lord gave them as their possession. So why would God be talking about all of these races of giants in Israel where they got their land at? Remember when we just went over the little space that Israel got? They was the least of the clans. They was the smallest of the giants. I showed y'all the thing that there was like 3 different categories of giants. There was the ones that was 9 to 24 feet, and then ones that was 25 to 70 feet, and then the ones that were 70 feet all the way up to several hundred feet. Remember we talked about that? Some of them, and I told you the mountainous ranges, this is where they found all the monolithic structures like Petra. And if you go and human people are standing in front of that right now, the people look like ants and the door is massive. So who did that? Why do they need doors that big, babe? The doors that's over there in London, massive, where they got to use big sticks to close them, and all of the big swords and all of the things that they're finding. No, these things existed. You said he drove them out because they were not supposed to be corrupted by them and set apart. Well, yes and no, because God would go and place his people in the midst of them too. Several times he did this. He put them in Egypt, he put them in Canaan, he put them in Persia. They cut little doors and the giant doors. This part, that part. Russia's doors, the Kremlin. Oh, when you go looking all around, all of the Buddhist temples, and they still can't figure out how they got all them temples all the way up there, and all with these rocks. And oh yeah, well the show Noah told us, didn't it? Hey, Mr. Odell, it showed us. And that's why people like giants aren't real. Well, then you're calling God a liar, because if you go and you research what these people built and what they did, oh, and you look good enough, you'll find they was. I told y'all, I wrote down almost all the races of giants. I did this study already. And these people came out of the same people. Now, mind you, this is only 2 lines of Adam and Eve's kids. There was still 51 other kids, or you know what I'm saying? Because, oh boy, Abel was gone. So these 2 kids came out of Seth and Cain, and then their other 49 children, or however many, because it's like 53 or 63, so give or take 58 kids or 49, whatever. There was at least 40 other races of people. No, excuse me, 25 other races of people that came from 25 to 30 races of people that came from Adam and Eve's kids. If each one of them had 50, and then each one of those had up to 50, because it clearly tells you in Genesis that every last one of those people from the genealogy of Adam, see, what people skip over is, and they had other sons and daughters. They tell you one name of the head son 9 times out of 10, the first. But remember I told you the numbers in the Bible, God would count the head. Well, the only thing they give to you is the firstborn son most times. In the genealogy of Adam, they're giving you the firstborn son. Even if a daughter was born first, you didn't get that. You got the firstborn son. Right or wrong? Because why would it go say right under there, and there were other sons and daughters, why they didn't list them? You have an older Bible that tells them name by name, all the generations name by name. Good job. Good job. Do you see they didn't list none of the daughters, and we know that there were daughters being born. No. No. The Lilithu were a race of demons. The seducing spirits that the Bible talks about, those are the Lilithu from ancient Babylonia and Assyria. screenshot this, please, because I'm not picking it back up. I'm going to show you something, though. And y'all see when this was originally published? Show you something. And they were in Eridu. Interesting. This, I just want to show y'all this though. Look here. Y'all see that? Here go the biblical scriptures, right? 1 Kings, 2 Samuel. Y'all see it? Gilgamesh was an Elamite. Gilgamesh was born 2900 BC to 2350 BC. Ashurbanipal, Solomon. Y'all see this? Horus, Aswan, Shamash, Susa. Y'all see it? Y'all see the research, right? Before I get to saying what I'm about to say. Because folks don't be believing in me sometimes. Y'all see it. Now, this is the Assyrian and Babylonian text, and I was able to take it all the way back to the Bible, you said? Oh, okay. Who is Aswan again? Talking about Puerto Rico. Listen here. The spirits of the Nephilim. And they were called the Ikumi spirits, the Ikimu spirits. In, what's the name? But I'm about to show you about these lilies. Give me 1 second. All right, so you see, possessed supernatural powers, the Akimu did, right? But see right here, here it is. This much seems certain, however, that the words like Utuku or Utuku, spirit, Alu, demon, Lilu, some form of, Lilu, some form of ghost with feminine parts, feminine counterparts, the Lilithu or the Ardat Lily, are probably Galu or devil, right? We're going to skip past that. Here it is. See this? Among the Semitic tribes, with the exception of the Arabs, the comparative paucity, I'm sorry, I'm reading backwards, of words signifying demons is very marked. Y'all get into that. Or employ or borrow directly from Babylonia. The Hebrews using the Sadu, or the seducing spirits, is also the Lilithu, right? Or the Liliths. And they are the female demons. You see it? So I went and did my research to make sure. You see? Azazu, right? You see it? Nimrod, grandkids. I was looking up them when they lived. You see it? Kalna, all of that. Ashurbanipal, the king of Assyria. You see it? The Akkadians. So this is the gods. You see? Why did they call Ashurbanipal's children the gods? And this is a while ago. I did this before I ever met y'all. And there's coffee stains and stuff on here. The Shedim are devils, Shedim. This is you could do a lot of research with this. It got good to me. I think I even found some of the stuff that they say in Charmed. Whatever it is, it was in Charmed in here, the show. Then it talked about them desecrating the cattle in here. It says they feed on mankind like vampires, knowing no care, they grind the land like corn. This is what the Chaldeans said. The Chaldeans said they fed on people like vampires. They fed on mankind like vampires. This is what the Chaldeans and the Babylonians and the Assyrians said. Interesting. What did they know about vampires in Assyria and Babylonia? Tell me. Didn't Aaliyah tell us that in ancient Egypt it was vampires? What did the fallen angels teach Lamech's daughter, Noah's sister, to do? His sister or his cousin, like Cain in the dream his dad had of him holding blood. Oh, okay, in his mouth. Oh, okay. What the Bible tell us they was doing? Why did the rule about not drinking blood come out? They was drinking, right. They was drinking blood. What do vampires do, Timmy? What do they do? No, we didn't descend from golems. Golems deal with necromancy. Okay, so let me say this to y'all, right? Lucifer and his fallen angels replicated every single thing that God did so that they could portray themselves as God. So a golem is evil's way of trying to remake what God did, animate clay. Because we go back to the dust, but we don't look like no golem. See, the golem doesn't really have the ability to think on their own. That's not our issue. And that be the thing about when, because golems can't make another golem. Once they've done their job, the magic drops and they go back to the dirt, right? Right? A golem is an animated thing by magic. They can't reproduce. Even the Baphomet, what you see, there are angels that look like animals. There are angels that their whole everything is animals. So when the angels came down here, and there are some beings up there that are half animal, half man, because that's how God made them. When the fallen angels came down here and made satyrs and all of the other stuff that they made, they were trying to replicate the beings that they did not get to see anymore in heaven. But they end up making monsters and not heavenly beings. So man and these fallen angels have been trying to replicate what God, I mean, y'all seeing it every day in technology advancement or technological advancement. Y'all seeing it every day. Try to run a body without a heart, run a body without a brain, try to make a brain, try to make this, make that, make cells. They can only use what God did to try to further their technology. They can't create nothing. Right. Right. Artificial things. AI. Right. Artificial intelligence. Exactly. Mm-hmm. And there's a whole spirit named AI. We know that, right? There's a fallen angel's child named AI. Siri. All of them.
For what time?
Yeah. It's a fallen angel's child named AI. It's a real thing. Alexa. It's one named Alexa too. It's just XH instead of XA. Demon. It must be down already. Probably right in my face and I just can't see. There they go. Ooh. And this is how you'll find out. A lot of your medicine and everything is in here. The names of your medicine, the name of your car, the name of the favorite coffee shop you like to go to, the symbols on your clothing, the symbols on your favorite cup, the symbols at your job. All their names are in here. Not all, but a lot. You can get this on Amazon right now. Go to bookstores, they got it there too. The Encyclopedia of Demons, the Dictionary of Demons. You're going to see a whole bunch that's going to surprise you. You hear me? Mm-hmm. Here's another one. And another one. See how thick that is? Let me go before you see. Let me go look before they see your live and jack it up. You know how they do. Mm-hmm. You already know how they do. They do you like that every time. Mm-hmm. A third of heaven fell, and people be thinking that's like 100,000 angels. It'd be a whole bunch more than what y'all think, honey. Millions and millions and millions, if not billions, of angels fell. A long time, Rochelle. Over a decade. I've always studied the law. So I always studied the Bible because I grew up PAW, PCAF. So I always studied the Bible. My grandma was a pastor, daddy pastor, mama minister, all of that. But I really got serious about it probably like 2009, 2010, 2011. I was really deep into understanding and going deeper in the Bible and really learning. And then by 2014, it was like crazy. Real crazy. And this is when all my pastor friends was saying I was losing my mind. And I'm like, it's right here in the Bible. Like, literally, this is right here. Like, bro, like, no, this is right here. It's right here that this book exists. Jasher and this and that. And they was like, no. So, For me, it's been a long ride trying to get people to see what's right in front of their face. Almost impossible. There were no people before Adam. The sons of God were here before Adam, but that's it. There were no humans living before Adam. The earth is only 7,000 years old, y'all. Yeah, there was no. If folks don't try to quit taking God, oh yeah, no, there's no. Yeah, but there was no humans here though. The angels were created, like the Bible tells you, the day the angels were created. They tell you not to read. They tell you not to read them. I know, because Hosea said they would. Hosea literally said he rejected the pastors. They are not his pastors because they refuse to learn, and so his people are going to perish for the lack of knowledge. I don't know why people be skipping. They skips over that. Evidently, they don't never read that in church. They can't. Because if they do, it says that God has rejected them. All these people that keep telling you not to read, God rejected them. That's what he said. He said, I've rejected them because they refuse to learn. They can't teach my people. And he didn't say that the world was going to perish. He said that the people that call themselves Christians, followers of Christ, black Israelite, whatever you is gonna fail because they gonna be out of here because they don't got the knowledge. And them is the people that's always telling you can. I don't care if it's Muslims, whatever. You can only read this. You can only read this. This is it. This is only it. And God said, no, not true. Because even all the stuff that Jesus did couldn't be wrote in one book. I mean, it be right there in your face. He said, I ain't going to make you take it, though. You do what you want with it. But even in just what we getting ready to read right now, it's listing like probably 20 races of giants. And if you go and you do the study on the Avims and the Avites or the Avites, you gonna see something. If you go and do the research on this stuff we about to read right now, your mind will be blown. Blown. Promise you. Go look up the Avims. Go look where they lived. Go look into all of the history about them. It'll blow your mind. I'm trying to tell you. Right? So we right back here. Let's see. We know the Raphites, because Og was one of the sons of Rapha. He was a giant. We know the Moabites were giants. The Avims, the Anakites, or the Anakim, the sons of Anak, that was taller than the trees of Lebanon. And the trees of Lebanon is like 100 and some foot. Some of them get to 250 feet. And it just said right here they was taller than him. Yeah, Jamar, that part. Right here, it says, in verse 10, it says the Emites used to live there, a people strong and numerous. I told you I was giants just everywhere. And as tall as the Anakites. Like the Anakites, they too were considered Rephites, the sons of Rapha, the giants. But the Moabites called them the Emites. Horites, another race of giants, used to live in Seir. But the descendants of Esau drove them out. They destroyed the Horites from before them and settled in their place, just as Israel did in the land that the Lord gave them as their possession. And the Lord said, now get up and cross the Zered Valley. So we crossed the valley. 38 years passed from the time we left Kadesh. Where do we know that word from? Where do we know Kadesh from? Y'all remember? It's one of the most famous pictures. Wasn't this the Battle of Kadesh? With the Hittites and the Mitanni, the Egyptians, the Canaanites, the Assyrians, the Babylonians, all fielded armies that are included in thousands of chariots, and they was warring against each other. In 1550 or 1200 BCE, and then early on in the Iron Ages. Interesting. Interesting. Them look like the people from Sinar from me. So the Hittites, the Canaanites, the Babylonians, the Assyrians, the Egyptians, and all of them was fighting against each other. You mean the giants? And this was the Smithsonian say. Why would the Smithsonian, that's a science organization, be talking about the Hittites and the Canaanites and the Hivites and all of that that's in the Bible? Interesting. But the Bible ain't real, says the scientific community. That's not what the Smithsonian say. And they got all the stuff. Interesting. Thermopylae, all of that with the flying horses and stuff. The Battle of Xerxes. Xerxes was a giant. This is why they was revered as gods, because they were. Because their daddies were angels, and they were the rulers, the conquerors. Oh, okay, just like Genesis said. The Bible said that all of the earth corrupted itself. All the flesh. All flesh. Animal flesh, bird flesh, fish flesh, horse flesh, dog flesh, cat flesh, bird flesh. This is how we got harpies. This is how we got the lizard folks. This is how we got centaurs and satyrs and fairies and all of these different green people and blue people all around the world. You were asking what book I was reading from? Oh, yeah, we reading in Deuteronomy, the 2nd chapter, 23rd verse. And everything, yes. Right? Even when we go over something again, a new place unfolds is so satisfying. I can't stop and don't want to. That part! Because I keep telling y'all, we didn't barely, in 2 years, just barely scratch the surface. I promise you, when I told you that the OTP, if you get the regular KJV Bible and the OTP, that's over a decade of study for you. Hands down. And you probably won't get too far out of Genesis and the first 5 books of the Bible. It's going to be hard to get, it's going to be hard. If you study it, that's why when people say they read the Bible, I be like, we can barely get through 2 scriptures. And not because we don't understand, but because there's so much in those in the 2 scriptures we just read. You just read about several races of giants. So to go study about the Avim, the Avites, the Rephites, who else did it say here? The Rephites, the Moabites, the Horites, and all of them, that's like 5 races of giants, okay? So we're going to keep on going. It said, but we, until we cross the Zerah Valley, here we go. By then, that entire generation of fighting men had perished from the camp. What's a warrior? What's a warrior? What do warriors do? What do? They fight. Giants. We always saw they was fighting, wasn't it? Sorry, y'all. My allergies is acting up. I need to go blow my nose. All right, here we go. Okay, well, then we know they was fighting men. As the Lord has sworn to them. Didn't God say that he was tired of them and he was going to start letting the giants die off? He was going to make them fight against each other and their fathers was going to have to watch it happen? The same way God had to see his creation kill each other? Because they are the ones that started murder and all of that kind of stuff with the blood and the eating of the people and all of that. So just like God said, they destroyed themselves. They fought. God will let them fight to the death, literally. Okay. It says the Lord's hand was against them until he had completely eliminated them from the camp. And now when the last of these fighting men among the people had died, the Lord said to me, today you are to pass by the region of Moab at Ar. When you come to the Ammonites, the sons of Ammon, or Ammon, were the Ammonites giants? There is even a fossil that looks just like the end of Nereus, Job's brother, and they're called the Ammonites too. In the dinosaur book I got over there. So the Ammonites in the water and the Ammonites on land, were the Ammonites a seafaring people? Were they water folks? Were they maritime people, the Ammonites? Were they maritime? Two. So the Ammonites were a seafaring or maritime people. We know at this time that the fallen angels went into the crustaceans, because if you look at the end of Nereus's tail, it's curled up exactly like what the Ammonites from... And there's others. I just use this one as an example. Oh, that's my geography. Didn't you just read this in that other book too? Ain't that what old Nereus' tail looked like? Is it? Is it? Don't they worship the seashell as a, ain't this what's on Ariel's neck? Y'all girl, ain't this what she was using to call the, ain't this what's, that's in the ancient, cause that's, oh. Because if I go and look at ancient Mesopotamia, they stairwells were built off of this design. A lot of their buildings were built like this. Wonder why? Interesting. There go your spiral staircase right there. And they were the master builders But the conquerors, and I mean, do y'all? Because we just read about the Ammonites. We know that God said they went into the fish of the sea too. And then the Ammonites were a seafaring or a maritime people. It's just putting stuff together. And then they said that there's people right now walking around us that can go from looking like a human to into the water and go back to whatever type of being they are. Interesting. Wonder if they the Ammonites. Did y'all just not read that right there? Atlantis, exactly. Did y'all just not read that in there, that the Ammonites, and then there's a dinosaur named the Ammonites? Come on. Come on. Shapeshifters. Ain't that interesting information? And now do you see why? When I start, I'm like, wait a minute. Why do this dude have a fish tail? And this is the name of something that is fossilized and it's large. Those things were not little. They were huge. When they find, y'all didn't see the at the museums how that shell, it be taller than me and I'm 5 foot. It be wider than me. So that could be a sea monster easy that had that tail. Because is that not the tail that Job's brother has? And wasn't he revered as a sea god of wisdom? In the Testament of Job, not the book of Job, Nereus came on land to see about his brother. And when God came and blessed Job, guess who was there? The seafaring God was on land in Arabia somewhere or in that area around Persia. Am I lying? Y'all ready? Who read to the end of the Testament of Job in the OTP? Job's father, Nereus, is the father of the Nereids from Greek mythology. Because Job was from Idumea or wherever he was. He was like an Arabian sage. You said, yes, it is written. Oh, okay. And was. So Job's daughters got magical bracelets, the same ones that they got from Frozen. And Nereus's daughters, but see, Job's daughters got they magical bracelets from an angel that brought them down, just like Solomon's ring. But Nereus's daughters, he still had wisdom, but the Nereids water nymphs were known for something else. And we know they had multiple wives from different tribes and all of that. So ain't they saying that people are still in relationships with maritime or mer people right now, like in Jamaica and different places, how they be up on the land walking around? We just seen it. They showed us in the Invisible City. The man was a whole pink dolphin with a whole porpoise hole on the top of his head, under the hat. And he was making babies with all kind of people. And then going back into the water. No, not a spirit husband. No, flesh and blood. Flesh and blood. Not spirit, flesh and blood. Flesh and blood. Mm-hmm. 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 Well, if God can turn Nebuchadnezzar into an animal and turn him back into human. Did he or not turn, wasn't Nebuchadnezzar an animal? And then he went back to human form? He looked like the thing from Bell. What is it? The beast. When they describe, because we got the book of Nebuchadnezzar. We got the Nebuchadnezzar tablets, and it describes exactly how it looked and how his wife used to come and try to talk to him for them 7 years. And he was, y'all see, I done did all my notes. Y'all see it. You thought he just ate? No, he was turned into a whole animal. A whole animal. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Talks about King Xerxes of Medes, King Nabopolassar, I think that's how you say that, King Nabo, the Chaldean king of Babylon, to assist in warfare. A whole bunch of them in Amethyst, who married Xerxes, the Temple of Marduk, Ashurbanipal. All of that is in here. It's all good. Talks about the Akkadian tablets. There were 36 Akkadian tablets. All about the size of a bar of soap that told the story. Mm-hmm. You said, oh yeah. Oh, I gotta keep these. Because I be having to put too many points and go get another book and put that book and then 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 put, and so I be need to, I'll do like a color of the day. So maybe I'm doing all blue this day, so I know when I get in here, everything I'm looking for is blue or whatever, that part, you know. Talks about Nineveh, all the good stuff. Nebuchadnezzar taking the spoils, and when God was sick of him, and yeah, this is good. This is good. Belshazzar. Y'all remember we studied about Belshazzar? Oh, I got a whole bunch of them. We got all different kinds. Yep. Good evening. I'll be right back, y'all. Anybody learn anything today? Some of y'all already know all this. It's just always putting the pieces. Keep going right back. While I'm out, can y'all go do some research on the races of giants that are mentioned there? Please. See if y'all can find somebody from their, what's the name, that maybe is even in the book of Og or the book of the giants. You hear me? Okay, good job. All right, so go in that Deuteronomy right there and look up the Moabites, the Rephites, the Avim, or the Anakites, or the Anakim, because, you know, depending on the Bible, their names change, but that's why it's important to know that their names do change. Look, do some research. Just type in, like, Rephites, giants, Avim, giants, blah, blah, blah. See what pictures or what names come up there. turn this air down just a little bit. It's on 68, but it must not be that hot outside. I didn't turn it off. That's fine. Come in. What y'all got? The Emites, aka Rephaim, was living before the Moabites. Okay. What else y'all got? At one point in time, they was all living at the same time. Their descendants were still giants as well. Ooh. Ooh, my legs hurt. What else we got, class? We found anything else? Did we? Us. They were titans, it says. It says they were titans? Really? The Anakites, aka the Anunnaki. Yes, pretty much. So the Anakites are the Anunnaki. And who is the Anak family that we found out? Who is Anak? Where Rika? In the new Scooby-Doo series, it explains Scooby-Doo isn't talking. He's an Anunnaki. What? What? Who remembers us studying, and someone let us know we found it that Anak is a daughter? Yeah. She's a daughter of Adam and Eve. She's one of the ones that are not listed. And her sons were giants. Probably one of the first races of titans. Because the first giants, just like the first humans, were larger when they first came. Just like we were bigger and now we're smaller. As time went on, the giants got smaller as well. What y'all thinking over there? Avon, indigenous to Canaan, specifically the city of Gaza, and others. Oh, who remembers me saying all of the fighting is over giant bones and relics in ancient Mesopotamia? And wherever they find a lot of giant bones, they find a lot of oil. For mother. Those giants in the WWE, Andre the Giants. Okay. The Moabites are super interesting. The fact that the Ammonites are mentioned so much in the Moabites, which you were just discussing. How did Moab get here? How was Moab born? The Moabites and the Ammonites were Lot's sons by an incestuous relationship with his daughters. So if the Moabites and the Ammonites were giants, and the parents of the Ammonites and the Moabites were Lot and his daughters, what does that make Lot and his daughters? Nephilim. Because how do a mama and a daughter and a dad create a race of giants if they wasn't? How many humans you know create 250 tall people with their union? 250 foot tall people. Or even a 20-foot person. So then how did Lot and his daughters create a race of giants if they weren't already? If we know for a fact they have Noah and his wife's bones, Shem, Ham, and Japheth's daddy and mama was 15 and 17 feet tall. Is Abraham and Lot cousins? Didn't Abraham go save Lot from the giants? Lot was his nephew, excuse me. You said Paris is having a whole power outage right now. Interesting. Excuse me, his nephew. I'm sorry. So if Lot and his daughters made the Ammonites and the Moabites, and the Ammonites and the Moabites was giants, and Abraham saved Lot from another race of giants. Didn't he fight Og? And then Moses turned around and fought Og too. Because Moses is said is the one that killed him, ain't it? And how many years was it between Abraham and Moses? Was it like 775 years or something like that? We did the math. I can't remember it, but I think it was like 700 years between them. It was 430. I thought it was 700. Not between when they were. You talking about from when one died to when one was born, or did they live together? Not did they live together. Google said. Okay, we'll take 450. So 450 years. We'll take 450. I thought we read somewhere that it was over 7. But we'll take 450. We'll take 450. We'll go with 450 or 430. Is that 430? I'm sorry, 430. I thought it was 700 and something when we did the math the other day. But we'll go with Google and say 4. Because I was alive before the flood and after. He had a different name, though. Do y'all remember what his name got changed to? Who remembers what Og's name got changed to? Eleazar. 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 Og got a new name and he became Eleazar. He was actually considered a priest. Interesting. Now, why does that make everybody, that should make everybody hair on the back of they stand up? Because didn't we just see a picture recently of a priest in what, the 1900s or something like that, and he had these big, tall, evil looking people behind him that was way bigger than everybody else, and they had on priest clothes? Didn't we see a video of that? Them men look easily like they was a good 8 feet, 9 feet tall. And their faces was scary. Y'all seen it? The priest with the giants behind them. How about the sumo wrestler in the early 1900s that they tried to lie and say was CGI? He was watered in the street. And he was the guardian of the Chinese lady that was the ruler. It's 430 from the time God made the promise to Abraham until Moses received the law. Okay, so that's between that time. I was just, so I think it is like 700. It ended up being, well, we just gonna leave it at 430. Y'all seen him when he was waving, going down the road? Okay. I think he might have been a little bit taller than that, but I think he was a little bit taller than that. But even 10 feet is still tall. Mm-hmm. Did y'all see the pictures of the priest with the big, tall, scary people behind him? Huh? Don't they look like evil to you? Y'all didn't see that? Gotta go look that. It's on TikTok. I don't know the exact. Just look up extremely large priest, or I don't know what you put in, giant priest, and then put in pope, and it should pop up on TikTok for sure. But you got to think about it. If the Bible said there was giants before the flood and after the flood, and it was going to be like in the days of Noah, that mean they here. They have them hidden, but they keep showing us that a lot of them are hidden under the churches. Where was what's the name? The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Where did he live? Where did the Hunchback of Notre Dame live? In the attic of the church. And in Troll, they told us that the bones and stuff were in the bottoms of the church. So I think they've been telling us a lot of stuff, but we just didn't know how to put the pieces together. But that's why we come over here and do what we do. And that's why we're breaking this word down precept by precept. Right? So you guys can finish Deuteronomy. Like, go through here. Of course, they make them all disappear. You said you were right. It's 775 years between Abraham and Moses. I know the numbers it's. So you guys go through there, because this is talking about some of the giant wars right there. That's talking about some of the giant wars. A lot of the first books of the Bible talk about the giant races of people, but because they try to make it like Goliath was the only giant and he was the largest. Nobody ain't did no research. You don't know there was people way bigger than him. When Enoch told us the first giants were 450 feet tall, which were the Titans. But they were shapeshifters, so they were able to be their big self and their little self, because that's what their dads are able to do. Wow, really, you are queen. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. So that's why I encourage y'all, the first 5 books. Listen, I just don't see how you get through there. I just don't see how you done made it all the way through there. I just don't see it, because if you're researching every father and who he married and all of that, and then seeing where those people were, and they say, oh, they're lost. Are they, or do you just not know their other names? Do you just not know the other names they were known by? Because again, everybody don't call you the same name. Your family call you a name. Your work people call you a name. Your boo thing call you a name. You have your real name. You got the name your granny call you. But everybody know around you, if they call this name or this name or this, that it's the same person. I'm showing you how to do that now. You need a dictionary. That's the best way to read it, to understand it. Get a dictionary and look up all the places and all the times and all the people. That's how you will understand. Thank you. You need a dictionary. You need a dictionary. You need a super large thick notebook. And you need to not just read it. You need to dissect it. No. Just start with, if you start at Genesis, you're going to be studying not astrology, but astronomy and gases of the ether, and you're going to study all of that. Just with the God said, let there be light, and the plant life, and understanding that. It's so much just in the first 10 books of Genesis that could take you over a couple of years really to get through there. That's why I said I don't know how they read the Bible in a year. I get it, but you studying and reading are two different things, though. That's the thing. A lot of people read the Bible, but a lot of people don't study. And the Bible literally says, "Study to show yourself approved." You hear me? Yes and no. Yes and no. Yes and no on the metaphysics. Yes and no. Mm-hmm. On Google, you said it said he was 10 feet. I get it. Do you believe the New Testament because people are now claiming it to be false? They don't even believe in God. Why do y'all listen to these people? What part of they are going to use whatever they can to get rid of God? I don't even know. The first ruling spirit on this planet is deception, deceit, period. God's stuff is proven. The archaeologists can read the Bible and go to where they know an ancient city was and dig down however many thousand feet, and guess what? Exactly what the Bible said was there is there. I don't know why y'all keep listening to they. They is a whole bunch of people that don't know what they talking about. They tell people not to read the Bible. They took the books out of the Bible. They show you white folks when it was black folks. They are the people that said Maccebees and the Meqbyen or An. The Maccabees and the Maccabees are two different people. But if you go read the story, it don't matter how pale they try to make them. You understand that the brown folks from Mecca don't eat pigs. And these 7 or 8 brothers, or however many brothers it was, the Maccabees were being forced to eat pork. If they didn't eat pork, they was being killed. Now, I only know pretty much one nationality of people type stuff that ain't eating no pigs, baby. Now, I mean, it's a couple, but you hear what I'm saying? It's like a group of folks from a certain area. They not eating no pigs. You would kill. They would die first before they eat anything from a pig. So, I mean, but if you don't go looking, then you will never know that the Maccabees were like Ethiopian priests or whatever. And you go look up the Maccabees, MEQ, it shows you a completely different person from if you type in the Maccabees, MACC. But they are the same. It's the same story. Same exact story. Exactly. So then you have to think about who at that time when the Persians were trying to get these men to eat this pork, who was right. Right. So when you go look up a Maccabean priest or a Maccabean priest, the one is the Maccabee, MAC, is going to show you a white person, and the MEQ is going to show you someone that looks like they're from like Ethiopia or a Coptic priest. Same story. It's just one has been whitewashed and one hasn't. But it's the exact same story when you read it. So if all I gotta do is put a picture of a white man up there and that stop you from going to look, this is why when certain POCs come in here and they say, "Oh, why are you reading a book that was written by the white man?" I'm like, you clearly never read it. Because you don't see no white people in that book nowhere, baby. But you ain't did your research to go back and see who was living at that time. I'm sorry, there wasn't no, if none of the folks was melanin deficient at that time. They wasn't. So you sound crazy. And then when they say, "Oh, the Egyptians and this and that," these people were intertwined. They came out of the same forefathers. I just be trying to figure out where they be getting this stuff from. When you moved to Texas, did you not have, if you move from Texas to New York and you're not already married, say you go to jail there and you never go back home, are you not gonna have intimate moments from people in New York? If you not married, you not gonna integrate in with the folks from New York or New Jersey and be living amongst them and going to where they go and eating where they eat. I be wondering why when these people married into these families, they married into the cultures that they was in. This is why God was mad at them. So then he made them go into slavery in those places. Well, a lot of those women got SA'd, and a lot of the servant men got SA'd by the women of power. And those women got pregnant, and sometimes they had the babies, and they hid them down in a village somewhere. So I just be I be trying to figure out why people don't think that both sides of these stories, if the Persians had a run in with the Hebrews, they was gonna have a record of it. If the Asians had a run in with the Sudanese people or a war, both sides are gonna have a record of it. But most people don't go when they say, oh, that these people was fighting against these people and these people joined in a war. They don't go do the research to see where that it was even at in old times, or go look at maps to know that they was fighting with people from Russia, or they was fighting with people from this place, or where it would be called that. It's not hard to grasp. That's exactly what happened in Black American history. Exactly. So it'd be crazy. I don't know. I say people are nuts, You just let them have it. So that's it. I'll probably get back on here later. I don't know for sure. But I definitely, if nothing else, I want y'all to read this Deuteronomy, kind of pick through there. And then also, please start breaking down your Hesiod theogony. Go look up the gods in there. See what their thing was. You hear me? Please go through Hesiod's theogony, because that's all the Greek gods. And listen, when you read it, the Greek gods were really who? And I say this, but I want y'all to grasp what I'm saying right here, because you about to learn something. Who were the Greek gods? The originals. Hmm? 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 Excuse me. Fallen angels, children, but the Assyrian and Babylonian kings. The Assyrians, the Babylonians, those from Mitzrayim, which was Egypt. Again, let's read this. Now y'all understand why I want y'all to go and break down Hesiod's theogony. So right there, it says, right here over Juno, see that? It says, instead of the Chaldaic, who are the Chaldeans from the Bible, the Greek names of the kings of Babylon and Assyria are herein given as they are most commonly found in use. Okay? So anytime that I'm reading about the Greek gods, right? Or the Chaldeans, or the kings of Babylon and Assyria, when I read about Juno, Jupiter, Neptune, Vulcan, and all of those people, Ninus, Polaris, or Bella, however you say his name, all of those folks, I'm really reading about the Assyrians and Babylonian kings. So when you are reading this, guess what you're reading about? The Assyrians and the Babylonians. So when you read Hesiod's theogony, you're reading about the Assyrians and the Babylonians. Interesting. Biblical much? Please download Hesiod's theogony and take your time and go through it. Because if these are the Assyrians and the Babylonians, then I want to know, because these are the people that were enemies of the Hebrews, right? Or the Jews. They were enemies of them. Interesting. So the demigods, Hesiod. Look up Hesiod. Hesiod. So I need your homework is to go read about the Assyrians and Babylonians, or the Greek gods, or the Chaldeans. Okay? So when you're reading Hesiod's theogony, you are reading about the Chaldeans, the people that lived in Ur of Chaldees, the Assyrians, and the Babylonians. Babylon. And they were revered as gods there because they were the children of the angels. And this is why I keep telling y'all that everything that y'all they was telling y'all that was in Rome and Greece, it was actually in ancient Mesopotamia. That's why Perseus's gate and all those other gates are in ancient Mesopotamia. They have them over there as like they vacation spot. Like Diddy got a house in California and he got one in New York and probably one in Florida, like that. Okay? Y'all got it? Y'all got it? Yes? Okay. Thank you. So, homework, and I'm going to get back on here to see, because I'm going to do a little bit too, so we can see what we found. I ain't went through here in a while, so we're going to do that. Don't forget to finish reading, though, Deuteronomy 2 as well, because that's a part of what we're reading right now. Deuteronomy 2, what we was just reading about, is relevant to all of this. See y'all in a minute.